So today I'm going to be talking about faith and vision. Um, when Reverend Balcom was here, he shared about faith, and he said something about faith that got to me about faith is having a vision of where God is going to take you, and through that you can do extraordinary things. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And first I want to start with a reading from Chunk Mogyam. The time is coming when it will be recognized officially that blessed families of the Unification Church are happier than other families, that they love their families and country more than anyone else, and that they uphold the will of God, and that they are a group of people who love the world and love humanity. When that time comes, our families will finally have the authority of Israel and will settle in this world. So I see that, true parents have such great vision for the world, for our movement, and when I read that really inspired me as just something that I want to do, right? And it's kind of simple too. Well, not easy, but straightforward in the sense of building happy families. So so I also want to just mention that today my mother is here. I don't know if you know her, but her name's Marilyn Angelucci. So she doesn't live in the U.S., so she only visits about once a year or twice a year. And she lives actually in Turkey, where she's the General Secretary for FFWP for the Middle East region. So, anyways, it's great to have her here. And she'll be sharing a little bit today as well. I was listening to Reverend Balcom's speech and his sermon before, and he talks about how faith is not just like believing when things are going well or things are going according to plan, but he said, like I said before, faith is moving on even when you're like in a storm. Like he was talking about the storm with Peter and Peter seeing Jesus and going out in the water, right? And he said that it's easy to be faithful when things are going well, but real faith is when things are not going well and somehow you have a vision for where God is going to take you, and it allows you to do extraordinary things. Those were his words, and that really stuck with me. And I want to focus today on the vision part of it. And I thought it was really interesting that it almost sounds like he's saying that you can't have faith without having a vision. And especially, now it's the new year, and what better time to create a new vision for yourself or for our community here, for the nation, world. And also, I was actually listening to a sermon from Milhan Stevens, our vice president of FWPU in America, a good friend of mine actually, and he was sharing about one of his favorite songs is a song called Keep Marching On, and it's by a band called One Republic. And he feels that it really explains our movement about how we just kept going, we keep going, and we've kept marching when we've been given this mission, and in some ways like this vision by our true parents that's so big, and we don't really know what we're doing, but we just keep going. And he was like crying when he was sharing about that, because that really moved him and really touched him. And I think that's a really good example of faith and yeah, I was moved by Milhan's sharing of that. So, you know, I wanted to share a little bit about my personal vision for our community here, or just, you know, just something that, you know, inspired me in the past, thinking about, you know, sharing. You know, I was pretty good friends with my pastor in Columbus, and he said something to me once about Columbus, and he said, you know, I believe that Columbus can be an example community for the country. You know, that we have, you know, what's needed. We have great people, and, you know, great youth, and all of these things that we can really be the community that is an example for the whole country, that inspires everyone else as well to break through and in whatever way. And, you know, that was really inspiring to me, and that's really something that I'd like to bring here as well. That you know, I know that, I mean, I don't really know so well about the community, honestly, and I haven't been here that long, but I'm sure that we are struggling in different ways. You know, maybe we feel down in some ways, but I think that all of our communities have something like that, and all of us are, you know, have something like that. So imagine if, you know, we can somehow break through. Let's say maybe in, I don't know, you know, having 60% of the Sunday service under 30, or, you know, doubling our membership, or, you know, those kinds of things are things that, you know, that I think about, that I'm excited about. And yeah, so imagine if we could do that, and we can just say, you know, to another community who's probably in a similar situation to us before, and just say, hey, you know, this is what we did, you know, you can do it too. And, you know, I don't mean to, like, I mean, you know, yeah, I guess I'm an idealist, so it might be easy for me to think about these things, but I hope that, you know, you can see that, you know, yeah, I guess I hope that it's a bit inspiring. And I do, I mean, just think about it. There's that chance that we could inspire, not just change our community, but even through that have a ripple effect around the country. Yeah, and you know, I don't want to just bring in what I would like to do with the community here. You know, I mean, kind of speaking from a pastor's perspective, I really want to hear what everybody wants. You know, what is your vision? What is your kind of passion? You know, maybe personally for yourself, and maybe for the community. You know, like that. You know, for example, recently I've been kind of thinking about a lot about I've been thinking about what am I passionate about? What do I want to create wherever I go, you know, with whoever I am? What kind of person do I want to be, I guess? And, you know, the words that I came up with are is peace and love. So that when I'm there, you know, people are at peace, people are happy. You know, I struggle with worrying a lot. I'm a big worrier. I think about a lot of things that can go wrong, and, you know, that's kind of my job at work. I'm always thinking of all of the ways that the system can break and things like that. So, you know, I worry a lot. So really, I wanted to, you know, peace came to me as something that I would like to bring to myself and to people around me. And then love, of course, you know, just everyone to really, you know, what I do is with love, and can bring that. And yeah, so that's kind of my personal passion and vision. And I don't know, I wanted to see if anyone wanted to share anything about, you know, if there's anything that you want to say about, you know, yourself, or for the community here, anything, you know, just to hear from you. Is there what's something that you're passionate about, or that you'd like to see in the church here, or for your own life, you know, the way that you live your life, for example, and maybe, you know, one sentence or two sentences, if anyone would mind sharing. Yeah.
I would like to create a community culture where witnessing is not such a drudgery. It's something that will come naturally to us because we want to share what we have. So that's what I'm passionate about building here in this community.
Beautiful. I'm very inspired.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so just like, what's your vision for your...
What did she say?
Well, what she said, yeah. So what she said was she would like to create a community and a culture, right? That's the word. Culture and a community where witnessing is not a, you know, it's not a drudgery, but it's something that just comes naturally. And anything else? What you said? It's pretty good, right? That was a good one. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
Well, I was really impressed by Mike Malcolm when he told us that we as a community can bring 430. We should start as a community to bring 430 rather than on the individual level. And so now I'm really trying to make effort, and every time I go into the world, to say that these children belong to you, and I'm making a more conscious effort to try to see where are those 430 people for North Carolina. This is God's state. This state belongs to God, and there's 430 people, and I want to, you know, where are they as a community? We can do this together as a community. Find those 430. So I feel more like this is our state. These are God's people, and they belong to us, and we need to claim them. So I'm trying to see that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful vision, you know, vision of 430 people, right, that our community owns and takes care of and brings. Right? One more. Yeah.
I miss small groups.
So what's your vision about small groups? What do you see in small groups? That
Anything
inspires you?
between Sundays. I feel like, you know, Dave always said at Love and Life, it's been too long since last Sunday. And there, you know, we need anything to interact between Sundays because it ain't happening anymore.
So the interaction between members is something you're really passionate about.
Because it builds relationships,
Right.
it builds the culture so that there's something people can join.
Yeah. Great, thank you. Thank you for everybody for sharing. Can we just give a round? You know what? One other thing I guess I wanted to share is that, you know, a vision for, you know, young, you know, families that have young children like me can also, they can come here and really enjoy the service, you know, and really that their kids can also enjoy being here. You know, just, I don't know, I think that would be wonderful. You know, there'll be steps needed to take to get to that. But today, just focusing on the vision part. So yeah, really thank you for sharing. That's really great. So, you know, in the beginning I forgot to mention, but really today I want to just talk about three points, basically. One is, you know, faith and you know, faith and requires vision. And then 2 is about vision. And then 3 is about recognizing what's kind of stopping us from going for whatever it is that, you know, we're passionate about or that's there for us. And so that when we see it, you know, so that if it comes up again, then we can notice and we can refocus on the goal, right, of 430 on now, you know, natural witnessing, culture. So, yeah, I wanted to share about, for me personally, I discovered that, partially, I think maybe because I'm idealistic and I have high standards for things, and I realized that I blame others a lot, especially I realized that I was blaming my, I didn't really know I was doing this, but I realized that I was blaming my friends, some of my friends, for example, that used to come to Sunday service, but they didn't really come anymore, and yeah, it was just, I realized I was kind of judging them. At first, I didn't really think about it so much. I just didn't spend so much time with them anymore. I didn't see them as much, for example, but because they weren't at Sunday or whatever. And I realized, I was reflecting, and I realized that I was actually judging them, and not really saying, I didn't really say anything or do much, but in my mind there was something there that was kind of blocking me, or that was just thinking, like, if they were here, other people, other of my friends would also come, they're not maybe if they were here, more young adults would be coming to Sunday, and these kinds of things. I was thinking about that, and I realized that, yeah, that was definitely stopping me from being, a loving friend. And I saw that even though, like, I really care about people to come to Sunday, right, and I want them to be here, whatever I want people to do, I want people to do things. This is just one example. Blaming them or judging them for not doing it was actually just stopping me from taking care of them, right? I want them to be here because I think that, that'll be something, good for them, or that'll be a way that they can feel love. But, I was actually that was just being blocked by me thinking about, thinking in that way about them, or thinking, just thinking like that in a judgmental way. I want to make it more personal, but I don't really want to share people's names, so. Oh, come on. So, yeah, it's a small thing, right? Not even a big thing, but this was really affecting me and my relationship with my friends. Some of them were really close to me, and our relationship just kind of slowly just kind of deteriorated, and I didn't really feel as close to them. And I actually ended up ended up talking to them about it after realizing, and just kind of apologizing and just saying, this was there for, this was how I was thinking, I'm sorry, and that's not the type of person that I'd like to be, and that's not the relationship I want to have with you. So, anyway, so I tried to resolve that with them, and yeah, that really helped me. And anyways, I'm not saying to do that, but what I'm focusing on is looking at, I noticed and I recognized that I don't care about, I guess my connection with them and my love for them was being blocked by the judgment, is what I realized. I don't know, I thought about, it made me somehow think about God, and how God doesn't care, like, if people are coming to, he's not going to stop loving somebody, or he's not going to be judging people and thinking they're a bad person because they don't come to Sunday service. Like, he just cares that all of his children are with him, and he doesn't care how that happens. I don't think he does. At least, with, now that I have children, I can kind of understand a little bit about the part of a parent, and, it doesn't matter like what they do, or you just want to be with them. And yeah, so I was really happy that I could reflect on that and see that. And I'm asking all of you to think about what is your what kind of life do you want to live, what kind of person do you want to be, what's your vision for your life, and try to recognize when you're stopped and when you're stuck and when you're not doing that, and try to see why, or try to see not why but how you're being affected, because at that time, like I could see that my relationships were being affected, and I was less happy as well. Yeah, so let's think about that, and I think yeah, I guess let's recognize what stops you, and try to refocus back to the vision. And like Reverend Malcolm said, faith is having a vision of where God is taking you, and doing extraordinary things because of that, right? Even though you're in the water, maybe you're falling, you because of your vision, can keep going, and I don't know, maybe you walk on water or something. And I want to close with reading again the taste of True Parents' vision that I had read in the beginning, because that's really, I think, why most of us are here, right? It's not. It's about the vision that our True Parents has given us. So the time is coming when it will be recognized officially that blessed families of the Unification Church are happier than other families, that they love their families and country more than anyone else, that they uphold the will of God, and that they are a group of people who love the world and love humanity. When that time comes, our families will finally have the authority of Israel and will settle in this world. Thank you. Do I pray? I don't remember. Okay. Thank you. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Parents, standing here, and all of us standing here today, I feel, Heavenly Parents, unworthy, and we all have such a, you've given us such a big mission, and we really, we want to go forward with that. And even though, we're at where we are, we want to keep going, and keep marching on. Help us to hold on to the vision that we have of where you're taking us, and to hold on to the vision that our True Parents have given to us, and have faith in you. Thank you for your inspiration, creating this amazing vision, amazing future for this world. And thank you for our True Parents for doing that. And help us to really connect to that every day. Feel your love through that. Thank you so much for this in all of our names, in my name, Joshua Mario Angelucci. Bless Central Family. Thank you very much. So, yeah, well, next, Mrs. Angelucci will be sharing a bit.
Mrs. Angelucci.
Mom!
Oma, as I call her. Yeah, I mean, probably start crying a little bit if I start sharing about her and, what she means to me. But yeah, I mean, I definitely couldn't be here, especially, as assistant pastor, if it wasn't, thanks to her and her guidance. And even the sermon maybe wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for her being here this time, helping me. Yeah, anyways, my parents are, just to give you a little bit of background, if you don't know them, they were, national messiahs, and they are still national messiahs for Afghanistan, and have lived there for, I don't know how many years, many years, maybe 7, something like that. And, have worked in the Philippines. Maybe you've heard of some of the, there's a university in the Philippines that our movement has, and they work there, doing a lot of travel massage work as well. And then were moved. My father was appointed as the regional leader for the Middle East, and now they've moved to live in Turkey. So, yeah, that's they. Actually, I stopped living with my parents in 2009. I came here to America, and they still are overseas. They haven't been living in America since I was born, or no, I guess. Anyways, for many years. Yeah. So, anyways, please welcome my mom to share a bit.